And we're back with another video, and I am headed to LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, one of the busiest, not greatest airports in the world, and I'm going to park this freaking Prius there for 4 days because I don't care if it gets stolen, beaten up, door dinged, dirty. I don't care what happens with it. And then when I get back, I'm going to jump in it and it's going to take me home, and I didn't have to fumble with Ubers and go to the Uber station and everything else, so this is great. But why am I going to LAX? Because I'm going to Roadkill Nights, folks, and I'm going to go see Butter, the Insider. I'm going to go see TK's Garage. I'm going to see Racer X. I'm going to see, hopefully, other great YouTubers that I follow, and I will bring you along with me, and we're going to shoot video the entire time, because I'm going to make sure that you all feel like you are at Roadkill Nights as well, and anything we're able to find out, any information we're able to get, and on the announcements of the new cars, I am going to share with you over the next few days and bring you up to speed and share my honest opinions, because nobody paid for my trip, nobody paid for my plane tickets, nobody paid for my hotel, nobody's paying for fancy dinners. Here's the deal. Butter had an extra ticket for a cameraman, so I'm dressed up like a cameraman, which I guess is dressed like a normal person, and I'm going to tag along with him and go and just enjoy Roadkill Nights and film and have fun and hang out with the guys, and I'm going to bring you with me. How fun is that? But first, I got to get to LAX, and the traffic is horrible, but it's okay, because this car practically drives itself with lane assist and cruise control with the adaptive feature to keep it away from other cars. So if it wouldn't stop telling me to pay attention to the road, I could probably take a nap. Anyways, we'll be at LAX soon, and I'm going to talk about how Dodge got into the mess they're in. Actually, not even how they got into, but what the mess looks like first half of the year, so you can see why I think at this event, when they make announcements on the new cars coming, they've got to stick the landing. They've got to deliver some cars that are going to get us excited and have us lined up at dealerships that hopefully don't try to screw us 10 ways from Sunday with markups and add-ons and everything else, and get that company back on track. And nobody's pulling for them more than myself, and nobody's about to screw up my exit here more than myself. So let's see what they're going to announce, and I'm going to share why they're going to announce good stuff, hopefully, and remember who their customer is, because they kind of lost us. And this graph, this chart that I'm going to share with you shows, boy, did they lose us. Boy, did somebody screw up. I mean, in a board meeting, they had to have been sitting there with their head in their hands saying, oh, we effed up.
It happened again.
Don't say that, please.
No, this time we really fucked up.
We effed up so bad, because the numbers are insane when you look at them. And it's just like, only in the categories, like, nobody wants our new stuff, everybody wanted our old stuff, and to the extent that even the last remaining old stuff is still selling better than the new stuff. I mean, somebody really blew it. Somebody, by somebody I mean Carlos Tavares, and the others behind the scenes that were nudging him to go in that direction. But we're going to do a quick video once we get to the airport, and I'm just going to share with you the breakdown of the insane numbers, which pretty much screams out that if they don't come back with something cool and a bunch of stuff cool, and I mean flat out confirm that the Hemi is coming back to a muscle car, then they are dead, completely just dead. So I gotta imagine they're gonna announce some great stuff. Hopefully not just the twin turbo i6, which won't be a bad car, but we'll talk about that more once we find out what they announce. But you'll be there with me. All right, folks, I will see you in a second once we get to the airport.
One eternity later.
Well, folks, I was late to my plane. I was the last person to board the damn thing, so I didn't get to film the video. So we're gonna go upstairs, finish off this video, catch up with Butter when he arrives, maybe TK, scares me a little bit. He might make it an all-nighter. Then we'll do Roadkill Nights tomorrow. I don't know what's going on, but I'll get you some great footage. But let's go upstairs and finish this video after a 5-hour flight. Oh, you just got off the plane?
I know what I used to hear, man.
Look at this. I was filming right now, so I got your call coming in. I'll put this in the video. Like, look who I'm gonna meet. I hear you're like 6'5", like TK. I'm gonna be a midget hanging out with you guys.
No, you got that backwards. I'm only 5'6".
Dude, we got small, medium, and large, baby. We're freaking set up. So you just landed?
Yeah, I literally just got off the plane. I think you was still like here. You were sending a picture. You like pictured the short jump. So.
Oh no, I took that picture a while ago.
Yeah, so I'm like, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna take like an hour Uber or wait for the TK for an hour.
The Uber was not bad, and I don't know why, but it was only $50 compared to California. It would have been $100 freaking Uber. So everything's cheaper out here, man. It's pretty nice.
All right. Well, yeah, I was gonna make a video. I'll talk to TK, see where he at, see what his ETA is.
Just tell TK there's an amazing bar at our hotel, and they're doing like free drinks for the first hour.
Oh, okay. All right.
He'll speed up.
All right.
All right. All right. Let me know when you're here.
All right, later.
All right, dude. All right, bye. The free drinks is I'm buying drinks, but we got to get the guys here. All right, let's do this video, folks. So I am checked in. I am in Detroit, and I am in the hotel, and this is where my home will be for the next, three nights? And there it is, Michigan. Now, I thought this was the first time I have ever been here, but no, I've been here before, just in different areas, but never in this area, so this is cool. I was going to do the bicycle tour of 8 Mile, which they say is a pretty cool thing to do for Californians. I'm kidding. Anyways, so let's talk about a couple things. So first thing is, what in the hell are they going to announce? Well, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction, and I have no insight into this. For sure, they're going to announce, they're not even announced, they're just going to show us the twin-turbo i6 Charger. Let's just assume that's happening. And they'll probably show us the 4-door and the 2-door. And hopefully they will let us know when these things are showing up, because the rumors and threats were September that this thing would be here. So if they confirm that, that'd be great. I think there's no way around. That's definitely going to be shown. We know that's coming. That will not be a surprise. And if that's all they show us, I'll still be glad to see it in real life, in person, but I'll be disappointed. So I'm hoping that they come out with some other engine options, at least announce that. That would be huge news in the Charger. I worry that they won't, only because they don't want to thwart or slow sales of the twin-turbo i6, but one can hope, one can pray. I also believe, based on all the inside pictures we've seen of the Durangos, that they're going to keep talking about the Durango. And I believe, like Butter was saying, and TK was saying, a jailbreak Durango, and maybe there's something more exciting around that Durango, and I'll show you why in a minute. There's no way I think they can never even afford to abandon the Durango, but who knows? We'll see what happens there. Of course, the TRX will be here. They'll say that's coming back. But the thing we don't know, the unknown, and what everybody's hoping for, is that they show up and bring a muscle car announcement with the V8. Even if they told us that it's not going to be 2026, it's going to be 2027, that would be okay. We would be okay with that. 2028 is getting too far away. They need to get some excitement built around this. And if they did that and they said 2027, they would still sell plenty of those twin-turbo i6s if the pricing is right. And the dealers don't screw with us, because it's a gas engine. And I think people will be much more flexible, and at least reasonable with that, where the EV was just a bad decision to launch all alone, by itself, without an ICE option. Had they done them both at the same time, it probably wouldn't have had so much hate until the problems began. And I'm also hoping the problems don't follow into the Charger with the twin-turbo i6. So that's what I think is going to happen. Now, if they talk about a V8, I mean, we're going to be talking about it here as it's happening. I'm going to be filming as much as I can, and Lord knows we're going to find out when we're here, learn, get to meet, get to talk to, but you're going to come with me. And what I wanted to share with you is the reason why they have to stick the landing here. They have to pull out a win, and I think this is where they need to do it. They can't wait for SEMA. They can't wait for some other event. They need to do it here. They need to do it now, which is why I think there's so much excitement around this. because their stock price is in the toilet. Their rating is in the toilet. Everything about that company is as bad as it has ever been right now, and they have to get some excitement built around it, which would potentially reflect itself in the stock price. If there's a new revived excitement around it, and at least an indication of sobriety amongst the leadership, meaning they aren't drinking and coming up with stupid ideas anymore. And I'm being facetious, so don't sue me, Dodge, but what they've been giving us has led to these numbers. So I'll put this up on the screen, and let me share this with you. This is insane. Took this off of Mopar Insider, and it's all over through the public information about this company. But check this out. If you look at, ignore the Viper thing, because that's just an old inventory that was sitting somewhere, sold the year before, obviously nothing. But the Hornet had a huge jump last year, and when I say huge jump, it's still nothing compared to what they should have sold, nothing compared to like the Durango, for example, but that thing sold 11,718 with a 52% drop down to 5,647. Who bought the 11,000? I suspect that rental car companies, because every single one I've seen, it seems like, has been a rental car. So I think that was the big jump, and then that got soured with all the electrical issues and problems, and this thing dropped because the general public just was not having it. But the other reason why, the prices were just too high for what you were getting, and they dropped them way too late. And for that reason, you had a huge drop in the Hornet. So let's just chalk that up to, that's something nobody wanted. Nobody wants. It's not going to last. They cannot go the first half of this year and only sell 5,647 of those things, and that be a successful model going into next year. It just makes no sense. I don't know how that thing even survives. Because let's just say they sell the same, let's just say the same amount of, 11,000 or something for the year. It's just not enough for a model to survive. But let's check out the next thing that sold. The Charger. That's the Hemi Charger, the Charger we all know and love. That was long in the tooth, been around a long time. 28,000 the prior year, because they were running out the inventory with markups and all the stupid crap. And then they were gone. And what's left this year is 1,630 that have sold, and there's still others on the lots I've shown you in videos. So that's 1,630 that have sold this year so far of the old Charger. If they had more, they would still have big numbers. But they got rid of that thing, which is insane, knowing that they sold 26,000 the year after the thing was discontinued. Then the Charger Daytona. This is the EV. This is the dumpster fire that we all talk about on this channel and everywhere, with 4,299 for the first half of the year. That's just pathetic. So that's painful, with 2,352 in that second quarter. So it's almost just right down the middle, half sold in first quarter, half sold in second quarter. But that's it, 4,299. That's just insane. More Hornets sold than that Charger Daytona. That's why they're postponing these things left and right. The Challenger, the old body, the one I have, the one I love, 93% drop, 21,000 sold, only 1,501 sold this year. And that's just leftovers. That's 2 years after they discontinued the thing, what's just being left over. If they had more, they would sell more. This was a very successful platform, but an old platform, and people would rather have that than the new platform. And if you look at the Charger of 1,630 and 1,501, that's almost just shy, let's say maybe 1,000 less than the brand new Charger Daytona. And I would propose only because they're pretty much selling out. They're gone. There's nothing left. There's very few left. Had they had more, they'd beat the Charger Daytona. That's the only reason the Daytona is even winning in this number so far this year. And you'll see the Charger and the Challenger drop for the rest of the year as well, because they're going away. They're getting sopped up out there. And then you go down to the Durango, and check this out. The Durango, 32,000 the prior year, this year 34,000. So the old Durango, another long in the tooth platform, beating everything. I mean, beating everything. The best selling Dodge they've got. And that takes their their entire numbers, national numbers, from 92,735 to 47,000, a 50%, 49, let's just call it 50% drop in sales under Dodge. And if it was, think of this, if it wasn't for the Durango, nothing else is selling. Like the Durango's carrying that brand. It's just scraps afterwards. The Durango's the only thing, which is why I think they're going to keep putting money into the Durango, and they should update the body style and do some stuff, but they're going to keep that thing around, and they need to bring us back a V8, because then they will see a surge in sales. And they should just kill the Hornet and the Daytona. So that's what's going on with those numbers, and that's why I think if these guys are smart, with the stock price the where it is right now and the ratings going down on this company, they need to deliver us something spectacular Roadkill nights. And I'm hoping we are not disappointed, and I'm going to share it with you as it's happening. So with that, I'm going to go downstairs, edit this video, and then catch up with TK and Butter when they arrive. And I will see you all in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Are you ready for this? How hard the invasion? The invasion? I told them 9 o'clock.
Somebody told me 7 to 9.
Cheers, everybody.